Okay.
Let's tell you about Papa making it. He showed me how. But that goes back 40, 50 years. Or beyond that. You talk about, when you talk about Papa and him making it.
Yeah.
He started in the 1850s, 60s, then the teens, then the 20s and the 30s and the 40s.
Well, now tell me about Jordan. Tell me a little bit about the folks you guys know, because you're about 30, 40 years younger than Rick, there, aren't you?
I know. When Lee, he was the one that kind of taught me how. I was in the Lee Sellers, and then there was a woman bootlegger. I think she's still living, but I don't really remember her name. But I remember her house. She was a woman bootlegger, and there was some jars. How I first got introduced to it, there was some jars sitting there, just like that right there, sitting there, and I thought it was water, and it was sitting down on her wall right there, and I was hot, thirsty, so I turned it off, thought it was water, and I turned it up.
Wasn't water, was it?
It wasn't water.
You ever done that, Rick?
No, I smelled it first.
I was just thirsty.
I've been around enough.
You're smarter than the younger guy then, huh?
Well, yeah. I've been around enough.
I just turned it up, and then from there on, it was something I liked. After I had that, I liked it, and then I started asking around, and then the older guys told me, and the other one that actually really showed me how to make it, his name was Vernon Grant.
Did you know him, Rick?
I've heard that name.
Yeah.
You talking about that dairy, the lady bootlegger? You talking about the lady? There's a dairy there, and then she lived in the house right above it on the right up there. That was Maxine.
Yeah, Maxine. That's her name. Maxine.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Did you know her, Rick?
Yeah.
You didn't date her, did you?
No. Oh, no, she's old.
Oh.
She's old.
She's probably, she'd be 90 years old now, 80 and
I just want to say she'd be 90 because I always called her old granny girl. And
Maxine was a real pretty woman when she
yeah,
was.
she was pretty.
Yeah.
And my family too had down there below it had honky tonk down there. It was called the Country Palace. I don't know if you ever remember that or not.
Bessemer City.
Yeah, in Bessemer City.
Somehow before you get in Kings Mountain.
Yep.
That was a rocking palace, they call it too.
Yep.
That was a country, and then it was a rock and roll
place
for a while.
Yep.
During the 60s.
You must have went there dancing then, Rick. You were a young man then.
You know, I'm kind of half redneck and half. There
was all kind of good times, places up that way. Even in my time, there was good places out to dance, because I still remember going to Whitey's Fish Camp, and they had a dance out there. It was on Saturday nights.
Well, you know what's interesting about meeting you two guys is because, you know, Jordan, it was interesting to meet you, and then, you know, I've known Rick here for a year now.
Yeah.
You know, and my goal is I wanna kind of spread the truth about real moonshine. You know, with the original guys like you that have been there.
That's always been my dream. But I ain't never had nobody that had more common sense than I do.
Well,
you can actually deal with the public more.
Well, the thing is, you know, we talk a little bit about the moonshiners, and God bless those guys. You know, they're the big New York boys come in there, and you know, they're not really sharing the truth of what moonshine really is, and how it got started, and when Rick's fifth generation came over.
People think whenever it come from, it just came over here and it started. It didn't. The first people that brought it over here was Scott Irish.
Yep. And you're sitting next to an Irishman there. What nationality are you, Jordan?
I'm Scott Irish and German.
Well, we got it all right here. I'm the only one that's a outcast. I'm an Italian.
That's what I was thinking, because that's the first thing I was telling my wife. She said, "What are you going to meet?" She said, "Because the only Corella I knew from my country, they was the mob."
Well, my uncle Bill Donatel made a lot of moonshine up in northern Wisconsin, so I'm familiar with moonshine. But they made it because they needed to supplement their income.
Yeah.
You know, he always used to say to me, he says, you know, I can get more for a quart of moonshine than I can for a bushel of raw corn.
Yeah. That's right.
Where'd you come from up in the mountains?
Robbinsville.
I lived up there for a while. You know where Marble is?
Yeah, Red Marble? Yeah, that's where my family's from. You know any Postales or know any of them?
Moors and
Moors,
Coffees.
Coffees.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
But when you go through Murphy,
Murphy,
you come into Marble,
Marble,
like going to Franklin.
Franklin.
And you go up through Marble and start winding top of the mountain out there. Them little, I think you call it a little snowbird.
Yeah, Snowbird.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's on the back side of Snowbird. And on the other side, you come up and go through Snowbird, and you come back and go down, and that take you into Robbinsville.
We went past the Nannyhanger River.
Yeah, you can go past that way too.
Yeah.
Because if you went across the mountain, you'd have to go up through a 21-mile road to go across Snowbird. And the only way you can really get across Snowbird is as long as you walk or had a mule or a horse.
That's where we was at.
That's the only way you could get through there to go to town.
What's
There ain't nothing there.
Do you guys make a little moonshine up in that area?
Yeah, it still kind of do.
Well, tell me a little bit about this, Jordan. Tell me a little bit about this hillbilly jamboree that's coming up at the end of the month. Here, tell me.
It's called Hillbilly Woodstock. It first started out. It was just a little restaurant, and it was called Popcorn Sutton Jam. All right. And Popcorn started the first year. He was kind of alive, and because I'm assuming he knew what he was going to do when he passed away, because he took his own life, and he wanted to do something in memory of his own self. So he started it a little bit, and then the next year, about that spring, he ended up killing himself, and that's a shame.
There's that horrible bikers that's coming to.
There's some bikers, but they're going to have a whole bunch of bikers come this time.
What? Over
It's called Carolina Thunder.
Panthers Creek back that way.
No,
Panther Creek.
or I don't know if Pencil Creek runs that way. I don't know about that.
Well, now, how many people do you think will be there, Jordan?
They're thinking about 10 to 20,000 this time
Wow.
or more.
You
It's
going?
going to be the largest. Yeah, I'm going to go.
You gonna go?
Yeah.
Now I see you're wearing our competition's hat there, Sugar
Yeah,
Land.
it's called It Come in the Mail yesterday,
Yeah.
and I put it on because it's comfortable.
Well, you know what? I was up in Gatlinburg, and I take pride. Those folks have done a nice job in their distillery there
Yeah.
at Sugar Land. Yeah.
Yeah, they did it. Most of them are big time millionaires, especially Ned. He's one of the owners. There's 6 men that own that. It's got holdings in that company.
Yeah.
And they're all lawyers.
All lawyers. That's scary.
Yeah.
Well, you know what's interesting is I've got a picture of my wife and
Yeah,
myself.
I've seen it.
Did you see it?
Yeah, it's
That was
a
a-
cardboard stand-up.
Yep. Of your dad and
Yep.
who all's in that? That's
It's Mark and Tickles.
Mark and Tickle. Yep, and your dad.
Yep.
So.
And I don't know how things are going along with him, because Mark, he goes around to doing the thing, but between Jim Tom and Tickles, but see, Jim Tom's my dad now, he's got a gold medal reward. But I'm going to tell you about them competitions.
Be right back, Norman.
Hold on.
It's like
Go
a
ahead.
politician. You can buy a politician off. It's more money you put in that competition, and the more money you spend for vendors, and the more things you get, you can get any kind of money.
Yeah.
That's the way in competition. You're gonna get some kind of recognition.
Well, we're just little guys here. It's just me and Rick, and then
That's gonna change.
and
We're
Robbie
gonna take-
Robbie
we're
and
gonna-
Caroline. You know, but
We're gonna take you two little guys, and we're gonna show them two little guys can become as what them big guys are.
well, you know, I've been a big guy, and I've been a little guy. You know, I've been in business all my life. I'm 70 years old.
Because
I've got
I got an idea. It's kind of like what Sugarland does, but we're gonna take it a different approach to what.
But
Sugarland-
don't tell the world. We might put this on YouTube. Got to keep it a secret.
Okay, that'd be secret. But it's something that Sugarland does, but we're gonna take it where more alcohol flows than anybody.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna take
But
it.
you know, I've got an old saying. You remember this, okay? The saying goes like this: I've been rich and I've been poor. And believe me, what is rich? Rich is your family, your friends. It ain't all about the money.
Money.
No.
It sure ain't.
You can have all the money in the world and die just like we do.
Yep, I found that out 4 years ago when my grandpa passed away.
Yeah, yeah.
Found out what families and friends was about.
So I think what we're going to do, Rick's going to come back, and And what I'm going to do, we're going to stop this, and we're going to taste some moonshine.
Okay.
You know, we've got all our moonshine over there. We're going to have you look at it. Rick's coming back, and I want to kind of keep this short because we're going to do some more of these episodes. We're going to start putting them on YouTube.
All right.
Rick, so we're going to kind of close this out. You all right?
Yeah.
So just in closing here, you know, Rick, you know, we've got your history. You've hit the front page of the newspaper today, and that's a feat in its own self. You know, we did a little interview. I'm pretty excited about this. I'm pretty excited about meeting you two guys. Okay, and you know, I'm a pretty transparent guy, and you know, I just want to make sure that everything we do is the truth. That's all. You know, I don't want any of this phony baloney stuff of, you know, guys that think they know how to make moonshine and never made moonshine in their life, and they're probably hauling water around in those trucks. You know.
Mr. Moore used popcorn.
Yeah.
He lived on top of the mountain.
Yeah.
Because if you seen that movie, Last Run,
That's wrong.
you see him playing banjos, guitar.
Yep. That's the JB Radar, and Mr. Moore was on there.
You see that little brown-haired girl, her name
Yeah.
Moore, that's my ex-husband's people. That's where I lived with Mr. Moore.
Yeah. And Popcorn, he was just a character. He didn't care about what it did, but what he did was he wrote how to set the market. The market. You can't, when it comes to alcohol, you can't be afraid to let it out. He knew he got tired of being a secret all his life and hiding, and he finally wanted to get it out, and that's what he did.
Yep.
That's what that old man right there done.
Yep. That's what his folks
got
are.
through there back in the teens, before the 20s. Because he told me when he was making shine between what we talking about in Tennessee, they'd go up there making liquor and bear hunting is what they did.
Yeah.
Hunting bear and Papa down like Tony doing it. But Tony doing it legal. He was taking it into Baltimore. That's a straight up Chicago.
Yeah.
Because I still got people lives up there.
That's one reason. Two was people don't know that one time Gastonia was called Little Chicago.
Yeah.
We had more organized crime
Yeah.
and moonshine flowing around here than anywhere around.
Really, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's why we have the only police department and the only sheriff that does not have arresting authority in this county.
Really?
In Gaston County, he has judicial authority if a judge issues a warrant and issues it from the courthouse. But if a sheriff deputy come in this house and seen us here with this moonshine, he'd have to call the county police out here to arrest us.
Well, we're legal, so we're okay.
Yeah.
So,
But if we wasn't, that sheriff deputy couldn't do nothing.
well, that's interesting. See,
Because it was in 1957. I think Dwight Bean was the sheriff.
Yeah, that's the one I know you know.
Yeah, Dwight Bean was the sheriff. And he was selling moonshine left and right too. And the people wanted him out of office. But they kept voting him back in. So Congress from Washington, D.C. stepped in. Because the revenue officer was coming down here and they would disappear. They said. And all.
Some of them.
well, let's kind of stop it there, and you know, because this is episode 1, okay? And we're gonna find a name for ourselves, like maybe the Soggy Mountain Boys. I don't know. We got to come up with a name, okay?
I had a cousin that fooled in Lord's sign. You know, the old one over
Yeah.
there. And I said, Dwight, don't bother y'all. I got you up to be careful on these people, man. He said, well, he just said certain people. He said, as long as I leave some money in the mailbox, then the month's mine.
That's what it went.
Well, let's close with that. And any closing words you want to say there, Jordan? Just a minute here, because we don't want to get too long on YouTube. Because if it's not interesting,
Yeah.
they're not going to watch it. You know how that
Yeah.
goes, okay? But I think this is. You go ahead and do a couple of closing remarks there.
We're going to change the history of moonshine and let the history of moonshine come back alive.
There you go. Legally.
Legally.
Rick, what do you think of that?
As long as it's legal, you're going to get locked up.
You still think I'm crazy, Rick?
No.
You remember a year ago when you were building my sidewalk out there? And you kept bringing me moonshine? I said, we're going to go make this legal? You looked at me like I was crazy.
Yeah. I also said be careful when you let the genie out of the bottle too.
Yeah. All right, well, listen, we're gonna go taste some of this moonshine that we've got over here. I'm gonna take and run the camera across it. Jordan, this will be the first time you've tasted it, and we're gonna compare it with yours, and then we're just gonna sit over here and we're gonna go relax. So let's go over here and take a look at what we're gonna do here.
How do you get a picture? Huh? I was trying to find my way back to Marble, and I couldn't find the old way going back.
I just know